What's up, y'all? Live from the 856. This is channel 856. Back again, week 14. It's your boy Danny X.
Jared live in effect, week 14.
Yes, sir. We are back in live with episode, what's that, 13? Right?
Week 4 should be episode 15.
15. One ahead, you're right. Episode 15. We appreciate y'all. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And thank you for rocking with us. Last regular season week of fantasy football. So just do or die time. So hopefully you made the playoffs. Hopefully in this week you are playing for your the seed if you need to get in, or if you're playing for seeding so you can try to get a bye. Unfortunately, my co-host and I will not be playing for much of that.
No.
We are eliminated. We combined for what? 7 wins combined. 7 wins combined.
Woo. Not the best season for your boy, man.
7 wins combined.
I ended up finishing last, securing last place.
Oh, 6 wins combined, unless you win this week, or unless I win this week.
That joint's pending. We got to say it pending
literally.
at that point.
So right now, Alex still at the top of the league, 12-1. Quinn right behind him, 11-2. They are literally the points champion could get decided this week because Alex has 1595, you have 1585, and Evan has he has 1486, so he had to put up a lot. But anyway, so the points champion could get decided with this week of football. And then, our playoff matchups are pretty much set except for the byes. The byes are set and not the rest. So the 1 and 2 seeds are locked up. Alex will be the 1 seed. Quinn will be the 2 seed, both with first round byes. And then everything left to play for. Chris, as far as, he can't lose the 3 seed, right? So Chris is pretty locked up too. Chris is locked up at the 3 seed. And then there's 3, 7, and 6s made it to the playoffs. Steen, Kemis, and Zaire. So there could be some movement there just because of their head-to-head matchups. Evan might be able to... No, I don't think Evan has a tiebreaker over any of them. So even if he wins, I don't think he would get in, which is very unfortunate, which is why he is campaigning for a wild card based off of points again. I like it wild card based off of record, though. I don't think it should be based off of points, personally, because if I'm a 10 seed, I was saying to him today, if I'm a 10 seed with more wins, if I'm a 10 seed with more points and you're an 8 seed with more wins and I get in over you, I don't think that's right. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, personally. Jared, now that our seasons are wrapped, how are you feeling?
Whew. The only thing comparable I'll say is like the Jalen Hurts quote when he was like, when you take a deuce, you don't look at it, you just flush it. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm not going to take too much from the season besides the fun, some memorable games, moments. But overall, I'm glad this is over. This one was rough for the boy, man. This one was definitely disappointing. I secured last place this past week. I lost. So I'm looking at 2 or 3 win season. Very much below my standards, so very, very frustrating. A lot of decisions I made didn't go right. Drafting, looking back, obviously in hindsight, struggled. I had a top 3 pick and number 3, and from that spot, I don't think I hit much of anything. So this year, so it was tough. But for the most part, though, I always try to be consistent just with the approach. So just look forward to next year, get right. Probably about April, I'll say right around the draft, April, May, usually. Try to do like a little bit of mock draft, throw my toe in the water with that. But I'm going to have to dial it up a notch next year for sure.
Nah, bro, I feel the same. For me, it was just like, I talked about it a little bit last week, but for me, it was just like, the coaching, like small coaching things, like, all right, you paid attention to your waivers, which is great, but then it's like, who are you going to start? And just keying in on making those correct decisions. I ultimately just ended my seasons. I had an opportunity to win games, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? You play matchups that it might be a favorable matchup on paper, but then they wind up kind of folding in person or vice versa. So for me, I think I made good trades to give me more depth, give me more opportunities to win. But it just came down to, I know I had a couple weeks where I picked Caleb Williams when I should have picked Jordan Love or vice versa. So, and Bo Nix, he didn't start off the season like I thought he would in the pick I sacrificed him at. So, yeah, man, just not a good year. A lot of potential to ultimately kind of just crumble. Yeah, I don't like to lose, so definitely a couple Sundays where I'll be mad, bitter. So
Tried 10 in a row.
I couldn't. I honestly would thoroughly I would have probably muted the chat, left the chat for a couple weeks.
Well, the chat's always been muted for years now, but I look at it because I obviously have you on my phone, so I can never have that notification ever buzzing like the hell. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is a wild
insanity.
But yeah, this will be a little bit of a more non-traditional episode, obviously, just because of where we're at in the season. Fantasy football at this point, you probably are going to ride with the players that got you here, unless you have a little bit of, just housekeeping as far as waivers go. So we won't be as detailed on the rankings this week. I'll do a little bit of the waiver section, but a little bit more of a casual episode. So let's get into it. So you got like we said, we got the people in the league, got the standings there. 3, 4, and 9 teams. If y'all want to know about the non-playoff teams, Evan 6 and 7, Scoop 5 and 8. He beat me, so we split during the season 1-1. And then Foom, myself, and CP all 4 and 9, and then Jared is 2 and 11. So, like Jared said, he has locked up the last place, unfortunately. So, music video coming soon for my boy.
That shit, excuse me, that thing is gonna be wild.
So we gotta figure out what music video to do and all that. So we will keep you posted on that when the time comes to do that. Yeah, so I'll get into the matchups for this week. Let's see what we got here for week 13. Start off with myself. Like I mentioned, I had Scoop. Lost by 1.3 points.
Did you?
Yeah, 119.7 to 118.4.
I didn't even look at them. I apologize. I didn't look at y'all matchups, and that's one thing. I was driving. I went to the Jets game on Sunday, right. So I was kind of looking at the Monday night game. Really, Noah wasn't feeling the best. Well, no, he wasn't feeling the best, but yeah, it was a lot of things going on for me Sunday night. But yeah, I was coming back mostly from the Jets game, so I didn't even get a chance to look at y'all scores. 1 point's crazy.
Yeah, 1.3. Yeah, so lost a tight one there. Hunter Henry scored a touchdown that they took back. So that
I had him in the league. That would
have had the game for me, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's just literally the story of the season. That's the way it's been all year, and it doesn't surprise me that it's continuing to go like that. Notable players on his end: Jacoby Brissett played well. You got Rashee Rice, Devon Achane, continuing to be the stud that he is. Brandon Aubrey, and then being a double flex, kind of like my kicker with Cameron Dicker. Breece Hall was solid. I had Joe Burrow, Kamani Vidal, both 20 plus. CeeDee Lamb with a 20 spot. Christian Watson played well. Yeah, just wasn't enough. Ashton Genty, Debo Samuel both played well as well. Just didn't get a touchdown. But, yeah, I'm happy with my effort. I can't complain. Played who I was supposed to play. So, is what it is, 1.3. I'm out. If I was fighting for a playoff spot, I'd be way more pissed than I currently am. No, I'm not really pissed at all, to be honest. CP with the dub over Steen, 93-71. Looks like CP got good games. He got 10 points from everybody except for tight end, flex, kicker, and DST. So a little bit more of a balanced effort from his team. Led the way with Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton stack and Javonte Williams. Steen kind of just had a flop. -0.4 for Zay Flowers. 4 points for Stephon Diggs. 10 points for Jahmyr Gibbs, which is considered considerably pretty low for his standards. 24 points for Jared Goff. Everybody else under 10. So just a little bit of a flop there from his team. But Steen's in the playoffs, so can't say much about that. Looks like our dog walk this week is going to be Kemis, 116-74. Lost to Chris.
Yo.
So just another flop from Lamar Jackson. 0 touchdowns in 3 weeks, which is a little crazy. You got Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, Jamar Chase, and Jamison Williams. Jamison and Jamar had good games, but the running backs didn't get over 10, while the wide receivers were both like 15 plus. So wasn't a full team performance from him there. Not sure what's going on with Lamar.
He's not
Hopefully,
healthy.
yeah, he's just trying to make it happen. Thought he could run the table. Trying to run the table unhealthy will just, it shows that he's not fully ready to roll. As far as Chris's team, Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, both 15 plus. AJ Brown with a 30 ball had a huge game. Puka Nacua with 10 points. Jason Myers, 19 points from the kicker spot. So I think that's what really set him over the edge. I think that was a late pickup for him as well. So it was a really good waiver spot from Chris. Chris still the hottest team in the league.
What's that win streak? 7?
The win streak is now 6.
6. Okay.
6-game winning streak for Chris. 4-game winning streak for Quinn. So don't sleep there.
Ooh, okay.
So both teams going hot into the playoffs. 2 and 3 seeds right there. Alex with a big win over Zaire, who's still absent. So if anybody knows where Zaire is, tell him I said hey.
I saw him in the chat today.
Hopefully he's alive and breathing, ready for the playoffs because he's falling fast. 128-93. Pat Mahomes with the 37 piece. Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor both 10 plus. Nico Collins 10 plus. Travis Kelce and Kyle Pitts all with 10 plus point games. Zaire, Jalen Hurts led the way with 20. James Cook with 17. And Brock Bowers also matched Jalen Hurts with 20. And got Jags defense got him 14 points. So they played really well. Not enough to get him the dub. Lost by around 35 there. Quinn beat Evan 129-104. 24 points from Prescott with the stat going to another 13 to George Pickens. His running back tandem continuing to be phenomenal with Bijan, Kyron Williams, and Jalen Warren all combining for 50-plus points. His Patriots special teams players are playing really well. Borregales with 15 and Patriots defense with another 11 points. All around well-rounded effort from him. Justin Herbert, 16, Bucky Irvin 15, Devontae Adams another 2-touchdown game. Amon-Ra St. Brown with a goose because of the injury to his leg or his foot, ankle-ish, look kind of Achilles-ish. Hopefully not. I think it's his ankle. Trey McBride though with another big game. So Evans' team's in good shape. You just can't afford a stinker there from Amon-Ra. Rico Dowdle underperformed. So hopefully that's the last of that, and he can still give himself the best opportunity to get into the postseason. And then the last game of the week, 102-83 with Foom beating Jared. So, Jared, I don't know if you want to go in on that one.
Of course. I'll give you a good recap. So, I was very surprised from Vern's team. Low key, he made really good adjustments. Like DeAndre Swift, he threw in there.
Yep.
He ran all over Philly in a revenge game.
$120.
Chase Brown's been hot for about 6 or 7 weeks now, so he's been strong. A good RB for Vern. He's definitely kicked up. He had 15 points, just under 15 points. Chris Olave, we were at the game and they had Red Zone on, and I just looked. They just cut to it. I just see they had a nice touchdown catch, so he ended the game with just under 13. JSN with a really 3.3. That's probably his worst game of the season.
Easy.
So that was a stinker. AJ Barner, nowhere to be found. Minnesota offense really wasn't needed much on Sunday. Terry McLaurin, that start, I'll be honest, I was going in there, I was like, oh, Pat Surtain's back, and he was on most play. He put in work against him. Terry McLaurin, I'd say he won the day. He had a nice touchdown grab and almost had another one earlier in the game.
Zach Ertz was balling too.
Yeah, that was a great start by Vern. Terry McLaurin, 19 points in the flex. And the special teams weren't much. Lions go for a lot on fourth down. And Steelers, their D didn't show up versus Buffalo. Stafford and Drake made decisions, continue to caused me issues, but Stafford, multiple turnovers to the likes of 3. Monty touchdown. Seahawks defense came to play. They had a 30-burger.
That's crazy.
It was really wilding.
Yeah.
But, yeah, everybody else. Like, Taysom Hill had one more point than I had on Sunday. So, yeah, Brian Thomas is looking like the worst thing moving, along with Saquon.
I know who you're awarding. You got two of the nominees for
They were back-to-back.
biggest
like,
flops.
they're back-to-back picks. Like,
2025 biggest flops. You have 2 nominees for sure.
Take your pick. But, yeah, I ended up getting, 3 touchdowns on the week from or 4 touchdowns on the week from my team, which was, probably an uptick at some point. So, but yeah, much love. Vern actually started me this year. He beat me twice. So, yeah, shout out to Vern on that. His team kicked up, had a nice week. I didn't make it a fight. It wasn't a proper squabble.
Well, hopefully I can avenge that for you. I got Vern this week. I can sweep him, get back there. So, yeah, as you can see, just tough scenarios for us to end the season. We will be back. Don't you worry.
Well, I got one more fight in me. One more giddy up.
Oh, that's the camera. I'm like, what is that black line? I thought that was me. Okay. All right. Sorry. I was trying to figure that out in my head, but I just let my thoughts intrude. Anyway, so NFL Week 13, 3 matchups. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving as well. Hope you're able to enjoy your families and relax and have some good food. Hopefully you guys didn't spend too much on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Did you go for the black hats?
Mm-mm.
Me neither. I don't need another black shoe anyway.
I kind of do, but I would go cheaper. I'd probably just get Forces.
Yeah, for sure. Vomeros or something. But 3 games on Thanksgiving. Packers, Lions. Jordan Love, probably his most impressive performance of the season going into Detroit. Must win for them to stay afloat in the NFC North with how good Chicago's playing. 31-24, the Pack over the Detroit. Cowboys Chiefs with a banger in the mid-game on Thanksgiving, 31-28 to Dallas. I would hate to be the team that has Dallas on their schedule, so Detroit, good luck this Thursday. They're playing really well. Bengals with a big win when Joe Burrow's returned over Baltimore, 32-14. Black Friday game, another impressive performance by Caleb Williams. Shout out Trojan alum. 24-15 went into Philly, walked in their trap, took over their trap. I'm pretty sure they don't. AJ Brown was the only touchdown for them. Oh, he had 2 touchdowns. And that was pretty much it for their offense. Raiders take another loss against Chargers, 31-14. Jared was in the house for a Jets dub over the Falcons.
I was there.
27-24.
I was there.
So
shout out to Alex and CP on that one there, and Kendall.
Yeah, and
KG pulled up on this too
for sure. So Jets with a dub, Raiders with a loss. Niners got pretty much put the straps on Shador, 26-8. Pretty much lopsided there. Another lopsided game in Tennessee with the Jacksonville Jaguars winning 25-3. Texans with a big win on the road in Indy, 20-16. Saints lost on the road to Miami. Panthers probably the biggest win of the week over the Rams at home, 31-28. Bucks bounced back over the Cardinals. Seahawks skunked the Vikings. Bills big over the Steelers. Broncos in an overtime thriller at Washington. And Patriots dominate on Monday night over New York. Watched a lot of 49ers Browns, not going to lie. I wanted to see Shador with his full start. He looked all right. He's running for his life a lot. Rams Panthers, watched a lot of that game. Very competitive football. I know you probably didn't watch a lot, obviously, being at the game and traveling.
They had the red zone 4:00 games. That was the harder games for me to kind of lock in on. But I saw highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. Any games like in the prime time that you were checking out? Any games that stood out to you? Any results?
Definitely the Panthers upset. That was nutty, but still fun to see. For me, fantasy-wise, let me think. This past week, I'd probably say, I know for me, I don't like the Dolphins. Dolphins and Saints, I'm not watching. 49ers and Browns, I wasn't doing too much. Jaguars, Titans. Texans, I was surprised to beat the Colts with CJ Stroud back. Um, the Seahawks was obviously, we knew what was going on there. The Steelers look lifeless. Commanders look pretty good, so the Sunday night game was definitely turned into a little thriller. Um, Chiefs and Cowboys are probably my favorite, though. Yeah, I don't like seeing the Chiefs win. I'm glad they lost on Thanksgiving.
With the Steelers being 6-6, do you think Aaron Rodgers was a success or a failure?
Who did they have last year? They had Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. He's an upgrade, but you got to think in terms of like realistic. Like, you theoretically could have been starting one of them for this year and beyond, as opposed to maybe all in for 1 year, and then next year you have a $32 million receiver with no quarterback potentially, or like Will Howard, who's like a fourth rounder.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah.
The title window is definitely shrinking next year, though, because you're playing against Joe Burrow and Lamar with theoretically Will Howard or whoever on top of, who is it, Bear? Oh, no, it's Bear. That's NFC. Steelers.
And Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, well, Cleveland, they might be getting a quarterback next year, too, so.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's going to be a little bit of a condensed episode. We'll probably bring to you next week. We'll have head-to-head calls with all the playoff matchups. Let the 1 seed, 2 seed pop it for a couple minutes, and then let the 3-6 matchup and the 4-5 matchup get a little get the competitive juices flowing before the postseason. But Jared, let's start off with waivers. Won't spend too much time here. Obviously, if you need them, go for it. But at this point, you should be riding the hot horses, the hot hand, and what's got you here. So, Jared, I will pass it off to you if you want to start off with the waiver list. And while I'm segueing that, we are up 9 on Florida. 30-21 right now. Duke is up. But yeah, pass it off to you. What quarterbacks, if any, that you like?
It's like, for example, if you have Lamar and you're worried about, him or someone projecting an injury or a tough matchup, I definitely would be looking for Jacoby Brissett. He's proven a reliable fantasy asset this season since starting. Tua has some good matchups down the stretch. I know he has the Jets this week. If that'd be a tough decision, but theoretically, I wouldn't fault someone for playing Tua over Lamar this week. Trevor Lawrence versus Indy, still a stable floor, upgraded weapons. His tight end's back. Been playing good ball. Jacoby Myers is over there. So, again, if you're looking at your starting quarterback, maybe just trying to forecast a potential injury or just a hard matchup, these are 3 I would have my eye on. What say you for the running backs?
Yeah, I say, you might. Some of these guys are definitely ones to consider just because of their hot hand. So you just give yourself options on your bench just in case, like a guy like Kyle Monungai, like Jared mentioned earlier, coming off a $120 in Philly, twin $120s from their running back. So if he's able to get that work share and be that productive alongside DeAndre Swift this late in the season, definitely want to consider playing him. The Bears, they
the Packers.
They got the Packers, yes, and NFC North showdown, and should be another game and another opportunity for Monungai and Swift to. Even though the pass defense for the Bears is a little bit better, but the run defense isn't great, so it'll be interesting to see how they get down. Bam Knight has a touchdown last 3 games. Benson is on IR, looming, but Bam Knight is playing well. They're all those. The carousel over there, Michael Carter, Bam Knight, Amari DiMercato, Trey Benson, all been banged up. So you just got to keep your Arizona running back alerts on. They're all kind of healthy in and out of the rotation. So right now it seems like it's Bam, and he's scoring the ball. So keep an eye on him. Singletary, 18+ his last two out of 3 games. So as you can see, he's hooping. He's going in the right direction as the New York Giants are finishing out their season, along with other secondary running backs with opportunity. Neal down in New Orleans with AK being hurt, and then Tyler Algier seems to be the I know Bijan had a bounce back week this week, but he still seems to be getting a lot of goal line share. So Chris Rodriguez Jr., Kenneth Gainwell, if you're playing those guys in the playoffs, if you're playing any of these guys in the playoffs, good luck, but
Definitely don't want to be, maybe think about flexes for these running backs and not like RB1s and 2s. So, Jared, how about wide receivers?
Definitely. Playmaker, one of my favorite, Christian Watson. I was really big on him last year. This year, I didn't really think much of him with his return. He's proved me wrong. He's looked good. He's looked electric. Deep speed still there. Hands still can use some work, but he's trusted in that offense. Jaden Higgins has been balling out his last 3 games, averaging about 7 targets a game. Jets receivers kind of look good too. I know John Mechie had 3 crucial drops at the game on Sunday, but before that, had 2 games with a touchdown. Adonai Mitchell was a leading receiver for Week 13 this past week, and he had a big touchdown catch. Shout out to him versus the Falcons. So Alec Pierce, someone definitely one of the better deep ball threats as well. Jaden Reed coming off injury, IR, and Kayshawn Booty, someone an opponent could be dropping this week with bye week, so that's someone I would keep an eye out for. Had a nice touchdown snag on Monday Night Football. Someone you could look potentially flex with an injury or anything like that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tight ends.
Yeah, Brenton Strange, I believe he got in the end zone this past week, so definitely want to look his way. I think tight end out of any position is the one that you probably will do the most movement, unless you have one of those guys like, like a Trey McBride, like a Travis Kelce, Hunter Henry, maybe, Brock Bowers. If you don't have one of those guys, you definitely might want to look, towards Brenton Strange's way. Dalton Schultz, 8+ targets in last 5 of 7. So Davis Mills or C.J. Stroud, he's having a lot of production, a lot of usage. Darren Wallers has a schedule boost. New York Jets, Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, all defenses that lead to good production for tight ends. So Darren Waller could be seeing a lot of production. Cody Parkinson, 3 touchdowns last 4 games. He's finding his carving his way out of production in the Rams offense. And Colston Loveland, he's ever since Cole Kmet got hurt, he's been very much utilizing those extra reps. So I feel like if there's any position that you might be looking at, it'd be tight ends, it'd be kickers, like Jared's going to get into, maybe some defenses depending on the matchup. So I'll kick it back your way.
Definitely. Like I said earlier, if you're being sneaky, I know a lot of times your opponents, crucial times, people trying to make the playoffs can't carry players into bye weeks. Or Gallus would be somebody if someone going to be sneaky. If I've already made the playoffs, I'd be trying to snatch and maybe upgrade my kicker. Santos McPherson been sneaky, really good recently. Cam Little, Brad McManus. Was it Brad?
Brandon. Yeah.
Brandon. Sorry, I said Brad. Brandon McManus. Jake Moody. Chad Ryland. Nick Folk. I know he just made a big field goal this past Sunday. But keep your eye on. But I'll definitely be looking for Borregales. He's been definitely one of the ones lately. He's been coming in clutch. Defenses, you want to finish this off?
Yeah, I saw also the Indianapolis Colts kicker just got released, so you might have been playing him. So if you need a kicker, Borregales, Ryland, Cam Little, Nick Folk, some of those guys that Jared mentioned. So be on the lookout for them. As far as defenses go, short list. So Tampa Bay, they have a
Saints.
matchup against the Saints. Just no offensive firepower coming out of them. So, I mean, play as expected going out of that game. Bucks are favored 8.5 as of today. So, easy play there. Commanders, Max Brosmer, just dog water.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation in quarterback for Minnesota, considering we were talking about before we started recording, like considering you had Sam Darnold overplayed and exceeded expectations for him to let him walk for your rookie who has comparable numbers to one of the worst quarterbacks ever to come out and Jamarcus Russell has worse numbers than him on top of concussion issues. And Max Brosmer just doesn't look like he knows how to take a snap. So Commanders, all that to say, Commanders defense is a strong play, and they'll probably make it tough on them. I don't know why Minnesota's favored right now. That line will probably change.
Minnesota's favored by what?
1.5.
Oh, I was about to say, if it's more than 2,
it's got to be like just that's a home line. That's got to just be the home line.
They must think McCarthy's starting then too.
Yeah, Chiefs. They have the Texans Sunday night in primetime. Going to be a pretty cold game. Texans probably will have a tough travel. Not playing in those conditions often. In Arrowhead Sunday night, nice brisk cool. Potentially snowy weather in Arrowhead, so that'll be interesting to see. We're in December now, so snow is on the way. We had rain all day. If it was like probably 5 or 6 degrees colder, we would have probably had like a bad snowstorm all day today. And then the Dolphins. The Dolphins are playing the Jets at the crib. I will be there. So, shout out Quade. To see his boys live.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, Dolphins defense is one to play. Tyrod Taylor looks solid, but, I guess maybe you can more allude to that. Like, do you think he can duplicate, or if just the Miami will just get pester him a lot? I know Minka Fitzpatrick. I know it was just a 2-point conversion attempt, but he cribbed a pick six on the 2-point conversion attempt. So it still shows that their defense is still do a little something. But yeah, any insight to that? Just a Tyrod play, or just
the Jets find ways to beat themselves. I thought they were going to beat themselves on Sunday. But you see, though, too, unfortunately, the Jets have miscues. You get pressure on the quarterback. A lot of times we're fumbling. We don't throw a bunch of interceptions, but there's that. I believe Tyrod might have had an interception this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, for the most part, like, it's just a safe play. Like, we're not going to usually put up more than 20 points, offensively a lot of weeks. So,
right.
Being at home, it's a little bit dangerous, but you never know. Takes one play. Dolphins historically played us pretty well.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Recently, at least, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Your time to shine. Week 13 bold predictions. 1 for 4. So we had Taysom Hill scoring his first touchdown of the year, finishing as a top 12 tight end. That did not happen. Like you said, he had one more point than you.
I played him, too. I really have faith against the Dolphins. He would get some work.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. The Swiss Army knife. Maybe he's just still kind of nursing injuries, whatever. But that did not happen. Jacoby Brissett, 275 and 3 versus Tampa. You were half right. Threw for 301, but only had 2 touchdowns.
Really liked his matchup, but he didn't have that third touchdown pass. So I gotta say that was a fail, but it was close.
Very close.
A good game.
Very close. Cleveland DST posted their third straight game with 15 points. That was a fail.
Yeah, they had 1 point.
Yeah, only had 1 point.
I think they allowed 23?
26 to the Niners. And then your success of the week, Devon Achane was RB5, 19.4 points, accounting for 150 scrimmage yards, 2 touchdowns, finishing as a top 5 running back.
This one I'll have to give myself, I'd say, a slight push to success because, truthfully, he had 137 scrimmage yards. So I thought he had receiving. So when I looked at his rushing, it was 137. I don't think he had any catches this week. So that was what I was like.
We'll take that. That's a win.
I'll take it, but it wasn't truly there. But he did finish top 5 on the week. I did want him to have 2 touchdowns, but for the most part, I said it was accurate. Maybe a push there, but yeah, I'm trying to cook up. I didn't like that week. That one left a sour taste in my mouth. Pause. So week 14, I got some new ones for y'all. We're going to start off with, I got a spicy one. I saw a lot from Terry McLaurin this past week. Kind of gave me Rashee Rice vibes. Like if you waited for him to get back in your lineup, you waited multiple 5, 6, 7 weeks to throw him in there, you're immediately rewarded.
He's still on my sleeper league team. I love it.
I played him in the flex league, in a side league.
Oh, Dynasty.
I picked him up in another league. Yeah, in the Dynasty, I didn't start him, but I had him. And yeah, he's a little good, so he's definitely going to be inserted into a couple lineups for me. This week, for sure, they got Minnesota. I'm saying that he goes for 6 for 85 and another score, finishes in the top 15 receiver, back-to-back weeks, essentially. I have another one that I've been eyeing, Dalton Kincaid. Hopefully, if he's healthy, this past week was 3 straight games he missed, but anything versus Cincy, a tight end, I'm going to play. You saw what Colston Loveland did. You saw what Pat Fryermuth did over there.
Hunter Henry,
Mark Andrews. I know they just didn't have a big game, but, typically.
Pretty sure Fannin or Njoku had a decent game that week, too.
I believe so. Just anything versus Cincinnati, it's a go, especially tight end. So I'm saying Dalton Kincaid, if he's healthy, he's going to finish the top 10 or top 12 tight end of the week versus Cincy with 65 yards and his touchdown. And then 2 rookie running backs I really like this week. Love their matchup. R.J. Harvey, Quinshawn Judkins. Both I got them getting 100 scrimmage yards and a touchdown. Both finishing inside the top 20 the top 12 on the week. Both rookies, R.J. Harvey and Quinshawn Judkins.
Well, I'll tell you what, R.J. Harvey will probably hold his end up because he's playing the Raiders. So it probably will be easy for him to make sure that goes down. All right. Cool. All right, I will kick off the rankings. I'm going to focus more on what you should not be doing or people you should be watching as far as matchups.
Yeah.
As we've been saying all year, you know who to start. Play who's got you here. You have Jahmyr Gibbs, duh. Jonathan Taylor's, duh. Josh Allen's and Pat Mahomes and people like that, right? So I read an article like those players are on like the most teams in the play, like most
For sure.
playoff teams. So as far as quarterbacks go, Lamar. Kemis is the owner of Lamar in our league. I beat him. I caught him and beat him. And then I think he's still on that same streak. 0 touchdowns in 3 weeks. Not going to get it done. Like Jared said earlier, I think he's playing injured. He's definitely still playing injured as much. He probably just got to the point where he can get on the field and play. So just be wary. If you got a second QB2 that's formidable, like a Caleb Williams, like a Stafford, like a even a Brissett, like Jared said earlier, like anything like that where they can come into the game and perform. Brock Purdy even, if they can come into the game and perform, and if you don't trust Lamar, go away from it. JD5, Jaden Daniels. I wouldn't, being that it's the last week of the season and you're going to the playoffs, I wouldn't run to play Jaden Daniels, even though we know what he's capable of when he's healthy, even though he does have a formidable matchup against Minnesota this week. I wouldn't run into it just because, you never know. You never know how he's going to return. You don't know how he's going to play with the elbow brace and all those types of things. Along with Justin Herbert. He didn't, they won big over the Raiders, but he barely scraped 20 points, fractured his hand, finished the game. Who knows? I know he got surgery right after the game, so who knows how that'll affect him. The Chargers, I think, are decent enough in the playoffs where they might be able to get him some rest. So that'll be interesting to watch. And then C.J. Stroud, he just returned, so they did get a dub over the Colts, but it wasn't one where his arm, you would say, got the dub. I would say the defense got the dub there. So those are more so the ones you should worry about. Jared has a couple running backs that you should probably pump the brakes on and check into. So I'll kick that back to you. Who do you think you should just be wary of? Keep an eye on.
Saquon Barkley. Clown. Him. That's who you should be wary of. Ashton Genty versus Denver. They got a tough matchup.
Yeah.
This one, I'll be honest, this was the toughest one to kind of rank was Omarion Hampton. We've seen
great point.
We've seen the return of like Bucky Irving get a full workload. Sean Tucker's been to 0. Like he was, looks like he was a good piece, but it's like you can get that kind of effect, or you can get broken in kind of more slowly, or acclimated slowly, or versus the matchup, it looked like it was kind of like a tougher matchup versus Philly, but I just saw what the Bears did. If I'm the Chargers, I got to be excited to get him back and play him versus Philly.
With Vidal, too, so it's not like you got to, run him back into the ground.
That's very true. I mean, the only thing I can say is the Chargers line is very banged up. I know Becton was hurt at a lot of points this season. I don't know if he's playing.
Have they had Slater all season? I feel like he's been in and out.
Rashawn Slater was out all year.
He's been out all year, right?
He signed his extension and got tore his patella tendon, I believe.
Yeah.
And then Joe Alt is out for the year as well. So they're pretty banged up there. So that's my only thing. He's very risky versus Philly, but they did just get gashed up. Vic Fangio, I'm sure he's not liking what he saw on tape this past week.
No shot.
We'll see. I don't know if I'd play him, though. Monty, someone with Bears, he's only good when the Bears are kind of like leading. I'm sorry, when the Lions are leading. Chiefs versus the Texans. I'm sure there's going to be goal line intent, but outside of that, if they weren't to fall in the end zone, definitely a floor kind of day. Vikings running backs I wouldn't touch if McCarthy's inactive. They're probably not as good plays even if he is active.
Mm-hmm.
Same for the Titans. Bam Knight. I know he's been pretty good last 3 weeks, but they got the Rams this week. I don't know. I don't know if the Rams going to play that bad another week. They were looking like a strong NFC favorite. And then reverse game, the Texans running back versus the Chiefs. We've seen them handle Jonathan Taylor, so I definitely would get away from Woody Marks if I had ideas starting him.
100%.
Wide receivers, all yours.
Yes, sir. So they got good matchups, but you just got to monitor their status, i.e., Drake London and Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're both obviously auto starts, must starts, to USC wide receivers, so I would never talk bad about my guys. Both hoopers. So, just make sure they're ready, right? I don't think Amon-Ra's practiced yet. I think Drake London's been limited. So just keep an eye out on those. Especially for St. Brown, he needs to be practicing actually tomorrow at the least because they play Thursday. So you need to make sure you got an eye out on that, as well as T. Higgins coming out of concussion protocol, see if he's ready to rock and roll. The certain curtain, we always give you guys that information all year. This week is Rashee Rice. The McDuffie shadow this week will be Nico Collins. So just be mindful of that, and make sure you guys are tapped in for that because could be still get a lot of production, could be strapped up. So you never know. You never know. Jefferson, Addison, I would not play them with McCarthy being inactive and Max Brosmer throwing them the ball. Quentin Johnston did reach the end zone this past week, and Keenan Allen, but like Jared said, they do have a tough matchup this week. So
I don't know if Herbert's gonna throw the ball for real.
Yeah, and Herbert having that. Well, one, them having the opportunity to run the ball on Philly, and two, Herbert's injury might limit his ability to throw. Especially, it's in Philly, right?
No, they're home.
Oh, it's in SoFi, so that might help a little bit warmer of a game. But I know the Eagles always have a weird travel to the West Coast. All right, tight ends. Who you like? Who you got?
Definitely.
Who do you not like? I should say.
I'll be honest. I have not a sleeper one, but I kind of the same game. The boy Gadsden, I kind of like him a little bit more this week. I know he's been a rough start lately, but just because intermediary, I don't think Justin Herbert is gonna be able to throw the ball deep.
Right.
I think he'll have to be over the middle, kind of that short area target.
Mm-hmm.
Juwan Johnson, someone I can see having a bigger game this week. Saints are playing the Bucks. Yeah, Bucks defense hasn't been too good. Brenton Strange is someone I can see having a big week versus Indy. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Darren Waller has a score versus the Jets. Not high on Kyle Pitts this week. They have Seahawks. Seahawks defense is definitely like that.
Super stout.
Colston Loveland, the Bears, they're facing Green Bay. Their defense can be very stout. Kate Otten, I'd probably get away from as well. Yeah, definitely wouldn't be starting TJH or Barner. And then kickers, we can pass that to you.
Yes, sir. Detroit doesn't go for too many fourth downs as well as Philly. So just be wary of Jake Bates and Jake Elliott, Jake Bates. Just be wary of them just because unless they really need to go for it, it's probably going to be like a 48 plus 50-something yard field goal, which you could roll the dice in if they're playing in Philly, which you could roll the dice in. Well, maybe not in Detroit, but if they're on the road, it'll be a dice roll. So be careful of that. I know a lot of people don't advise keeping two kickers, but if you got the spot, grab one just in case. They're still getting moved up and down. Younghoe Koo doing whatever, and Bagley and Indy just got released. So just be mindful. A lot of different movement. Nobody can afford a bad kicker this late in the season. So just make sure you guys are keeping an eye on those kickers. Guys like Daniel Carlson for the Raiders. People like the Browns kicker probably trending down just because they're not team's not putting up points enough to get him in good positions. And what about defenses? Any matchups you need to pay attention to?
Definitely some tougher matchups this week. I'd give Tampa a shot. I know I'm not too high on them versus the Saints. I could see someone picking them up and having to play them, maybe to replace like a Patriots defense or someone like that. Pittsburgh, they're facing the Ravens, so definitely a tough matchup for them. But the way Lamar's playing, that is definitely a tougher ask. I feel like they could definitely get after him, but their defense is getting exposed this year. Washington versus Minnesota, I would love to play that Brenton or whoever the backup kid was, but even not, just J.J. McCarthy's pretty bad. I would do, let me think, Green Bay and versus the Bears. That could be a messy game with weather conditions, could be fun. But even the Chargers versus the Eagles. The Eagles haven't been good. They've actually scored less points in the month of November than the Jets. I think it was like 63 points.
Sheesh.
So definitely, when your offensive coordinator is getting his house egged, I think going against that offense definitely would be favorable. Not too high on Buffalo this week. Definitely versus the Burrow. That game has shootout potential. I'd get away from Detroit on Thursday night versus Dak. Chicago's defense leads the league in turnovers, but versus Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, definitely could be a floor kind of game.
Massive matchup in that division
for sure. The Texans' number 2 defense currently versus Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. Good luck. I know it's definitely they had 15 a couple weeks ago versus Josh Allen. So you've seen their highs. I just personally don't know if I'd be playing them if my season was on the line. And then Arizona is what I'd probably get away from. They play the Rams.
100%. Q the Cam, good on Cam.
Yep.
All right. All right. Yeah, no doubt. We're going to pay the bills real quick. Come back with guest the player, rapid fire, get you guys out of here. All right. We appreciate y'all as always. What happened?
Can't even say it on camera.
No camera. All right. Cool. Yeah, GTP time. I think I was half and half last week. What I'm going to do for everybody is compile up the dog walks from the season, compile up the GTP stats, and compile up the bowl prediction stats to see how we did over the full year. So I'll be watching all season over. Not too bad. I don't mind watching Channel 856, obviously. But we'll compile all that, see how the stats fare, and then the week after that, we'll do the awards. No, actually, we'll do awards once the season's over, fantasy season's over. And, yeah, we got some other stuff coming up, and we will cross that bridge when it gets here because I don't know the details and specifics yet. But look, there's going to be some basketball stuff. There's going to be some wrestling stuff. So look ahead that we'll have some different content coming up. We're going to be on another podcast, too. So look out for that, my guy Matt.
Sure.
I will do enough rambling for now. GTP, how many we got?
We got 3. I got 2 running backs and a receiver this week.
Running back, please.
All right. This one is currently RB 49 on the year.
Okay.
Total 65 points. He averages 8.13 points per game. He has missed 4 games this year, though. So he has 67 rushes, 300 yards, 1 touchdown. He's averaging 4.5 yards per carry, 30 targets, 20 catches, 150 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. He's fumbled twice and 1's been recovered.
Okay.
Last year, he finished as RB 16 on the year. He had a total of 216.1 points, averaged 12.71 points per game. He had 255 rushing attempts for 1,138 yards, 5 touchdowns, consistently 4.5 yards per carry. He had 62 targets for 51 receptions, 408 yards, 2 touchdowns, 34 red zone touches last year, 5 fumbles, and 3 lost.
Mondre?
Not Ramondre, but close. This player has definitely had, I'll give you a hint, he's had one of the better fantasy performances in recent memories, couple seasons back.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. That was a good snipe. Definitely a good snipe. Yeah, I was surprised.
Won me my title in this league. It's my guy. I will always have a respect for Aaron Jones.
I literally put that to hint. I said one of Dan's favorite players.
Yeah, I'll always have respect for Aaron Jones. Showtime. Let's do the other running back.
Currently, RB15, total 151.4 points. He averages 12.62 points per game. He's fourth currently in NFL with 198 attempts, 740 yards rushing, so he's 16th. 4 touchdowns, averaging 3.7 yards per carry, 43 targets, turns into 35 catches, 259 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, only 5 red zone touches, 1 fumble lost. Last year, he finishes RB top 5, we'll call him. 338.80 points, averaged 21.75 points per game. First in attempts with 345, 2,000 and a nickel, 5.8 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns with fourth in the league, 43 targets, 33 catches, 278 and 2 tubs, 37 red zone touches, 2 fumbles, 1 loss. And he sat the final game of the season.
Alex calls him Shufan.
Yo, literally.
I used to call him Saquon Tupac Barkley because the season I had him, he was back like Tupac. Shuquan, Shaquan, Shayshawn, however you want to call him, as Mr. Barkley.
How about Farquan?
Yeah. Say Sean Barkley, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm so frustrated with him.
I would kick down the door. It's like, yo, do you not see what I did last year and what it led to?
It's not even just like, yeah. I thought I was a safe pick at 3. I was like, maybe. I was considering him or Gibbs, and I was like, I feel like Gibbs is, he's still splitting. I was like, Barkley, even if I get 75% of what he did last year, that's enough for me. He's getting me like 30% of what he did 3.7 yards per carry is crazy.
That's bad. All right. Wide receiver.
We got our current wide receiver 31 on the year.
Okay.
110.6 points. He averaging 9.22 points per game. 67 targets, 44 receptions, 550 receiving yards for 5 touchdowns. Only 4 red zone touches. He does have 6 rushes for 36 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry, and 72 return yards. Last year, he was wide receiver 60, total of 105.8 points. Average 6.22 points per game, 81 targets, 47 receptions, 539 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 red zone touches, 9 attempts, 44 rushing yards, and a touchdown. He was averaging 4.9 yards per carry. And again, 72 return yards. A lot of his stats were like almost identical.
Romeo?
No, not Romeo Dobbs.
I can't think of that. He always comes to mind first for returning wide receivers. Who else returns for their
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
1 week this year accounted for a third of his production this year.
Whoa.
He went crazy 1 week.
AFC or NFC?
AFC.
We don't have a returner. We don't have they don't use a returner that plays. Neither do they. Who's the 4th team? No. AFC East. What's the 4th team in the? Oh no, South. AFC South. Josh Downs.
I'll read his stats one more time.
Yeah. Please.
Currently, wide receiver 31. Mm-hmm. He has a total of 110.6 points, averaging 9.22 points per game, 67 targets on the year, 44 catches, 550 yards receiving, 5 receiving touchdowns. He has 4 red zone touches, 6 rushing attempts for 36 yards.
Oh, that's the part.
6 yards per carry he's averaging, and he does have 72 return yards scattered across the year. Last year, he finishes our wide receiver 60. He had a total of 100, just under 106 points. He was averaging 6.22 points per game, 81 targets, 47 catches, 539 receiving yards. So he's beat that. 3 touchdowns. He's already beat that. 4 red zone touches, 9 attempts, 44 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. He was averaging 4.9 yards per carry and 72 return yards as well. This year, 1 week accounted for a third of his production on the year. So that's kind of the hint. Like 110.60. So a third of that is what he got in like a week.
Trey Tucker?
Trey Tucker. I was trying to sneak that under you. I was like, that's like your Raider guy.
Yeah, I thought this like
The first thing you said is that we don't have a return.
That's what I said. I was just like, yeah. I was like, yes. I'm like,
because
he was. I don't know. I don't know.
we use our backup running back. No, we use Raheem Mostert. That's why I didn't think of
randomly.
that. We use Mostert now, so I was like, Trey way. Okay, good call.
Good pull.
All right, 3 for 3.
There
Yeah,
you go. I like that.
yeah.
I like that.
All right, rapid fire. Get out of here. Week 14. We are in the. It's December 2nd. That's crazy. Cowboys Lions Thursday.
Give me the Cowboys. I want the Cowboys to run the table.
I am agreeing with you. I want them to run the table as well. Give me the Cowboys. Broncos Raiders.
Broncos.
Dolphins Jets.
I did say surprisingly, this is a winnable game for the Jets. I'll say the Jets.
I'm going with the Jets. Sorry, Quaid. Steelers Ravens.
Shout out to is Quaid's birthday coming up, right?
No, it's not the man.
Not to me. I'm sorry, tripping. But yeah, shout out to Quaid. That hopefully you have a good game. Unfortunately, I just don't hope you see a good Dolphins victory. What was it?
Steelers Ravens.
Ravens.
That's a
Steelers are in just bad form right now.
Both teams are 6-6. Baltimore is -6. I hope
They're at home though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a stinky game.
I'll watch it probably with my dad maybe.
Lamar gotta get it together. I'm gonna go with Baltimore. Saints Bucks.
Bucks for sure.
Yeah, Bucks win big. Colts Jags. It's a weird one.
I will say the Jaguars win.
Give me the Jags. I think the Colts might be on their start to sliding a little bit, especially with DJ being hurt a little. Titans Browns.
Give me the Browns. I hope Shador wins.
Yep, agreed. All Shador success. Commanders Vikings.
Commanders.
I like the Commanders as well. Max Brosmer is terrible. Seahawks Falcons.
Seahawks for sure.
Seahawks win big. Bengals Bills.
Give me the Bengals, I hope.
Yeah, I kind of want the Bengals to win. Big fan of Burrows.
Sure.
Bears Packers.
I hope the Bears win,
I
but I
think
think
that's
the
the match of the
Packers
week.
win.
I had both of these quarterbacks this year. I'm a fan of both guys. Pause. Bears continue to shock the world. Rams Cardinals Rams. Texans Chiefs. Chiefs. Monday Night Football Eagles Chargers.
I want the Chargers to win.
I want the Chargers to win too. There's nothing like local Philly fans jumping off the bridge over 2 straight losses.
They could trade the Jets, Jalen Hurts. We'll take him over here.
Word. Yo, remember that premise we had? Now I wonder what people would think. Like, you put Jalen on the Packers and put Jordan Love on the.
Oh yeah.
Yo, the Eagles would be humming.
I'm not gonna gas it. Like the top 5, Jalen Hurts, top 5 quarterback. That looks crazy right now too. Like that looks crazy.
What Cam was saying don't sound too
Yeah, that's
crazy.
what I'm saying.
All of that.
He's definitely having a bad season this year. Decision making wise, some of his throws just look terrible. He had a Dallas Goedert wide open on the seam on one play, just didn't throw it. And that's not even on Kevin Petula. That's just right on him. But I don't know. He definitely went toe to toe with Mahomes twice. So I can't follow him.
Yeah. No cap.
in the bowl
No cap.
and outplayed them.
Right.
So,
Listen, moms, fathers, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, grandparents, peoples. Shout out to them. Shout out to our Lord and Savior. Stay warm. Wear y'all jackets. What else? If you got any old jackets, scarves, and anything, donate them. It's that time of the year where the homeless can't really help being homeless. So
be a blessing to be. It's a blessing to be a blessing. You heard?
exactly. Jared, any shout outs?
Shout out to all the guys. Shout out one time CP, Alex, KG, Kendall pulled up on us. We went to the Jets game. Shout out Maddie. He gets the tickets for us, so he's the plug.
My dog.
Appreciate all that. That's always goes without saying. Anytime I can see the Jets, great vibes, good times with the guys. Got to see him. I ain't see him in a minute. Shout out to all the league mates, our followers, likes, subscribers. Shout out to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Every day we wake up is very much a blessing, so I appreciate that. And yeah, shout out to Aaron Glenn and the Jets for showing some fight on Sunday. Nick Folk.
Nick Folk. Live from the 856, as always, this is channel 856. Be ready for our playoff preview next week. We'll do some head-to-head calls with everybody in the league, in the playoffs. Wish it was calling myself, but it's not. Wish Jared was on a call, but he's not. Quinn's on a bye, so he doesn't need to call. He can just pop his shit. And he's going to bring home a third title. We're going to keep it in the Channel 856 family, and that's how we're going to do it.
I like that.
You like it? I love it. Live from the 856, Channel 856. It's Danny X.
Jared, we signing out. Peace.